Recently in the world of PC gaming, there has been the Steam Machine release, and there's a lot of hype surrounding it, but there's also a lot of contention around the system itself and whether the specs are good enough. And today I'm going to be doing my own little twist on this, in that I'm going to be installing an RX 7600 into an X99 system. Now this is a used PC here that I picked up off the used market, and I got this for an extremely good price. Albeit I had to do a lot of cleaning, and I also took quite a bit of risk in that I bought it untested from a recycling center. However, when it comes to used parts and getting value out of the parts, I personally believe the rewards far outweigh the risks. Sure, you could start off in the world of used PC parts, get your first deal and the part doesn't work, and then you're just pretty much demotivated to ever touch a used PC part again. But over time, I'm telling you guys now, the reward with used PC parts just far outweighs the risks in terms of probabilities and percentages. However, back to this system right here, it is an X99 system, and it's, albeit over a decade old, it's actually got in it an i7-5820K, which is a 6-core, 12-threaded system. So actually got the same core count and thread count as the Steam Machine. And when I looked at the specs of the Steam Machine, it's looking like it's got what's very similar in CPU equivalency to a Ryzen 5 7545U, which actually in itself doesn't feature 6 true cores. It's got more like 2 performance cores and then 4 kind of E cores that are hyper-threaded. But that being said, the GPU itself is the RX 7600, and it's not crazy powerful. So the CPU should be fine for the job on the Steam Machine, and this having 6 essentially performance cores and 12 threads, we're hoping that today, once we install SteamOS and get some games up and running, it's not going to be a problem for this GPU right here, the RX 7600. Now, I've actually put in a more powerful GPU here, the RX 7600 XT, and that's because I picked it up for a really good price locally. However, you can buy RX 7600s brand new for around $280 In Australia, it's around the same price as $390. And in fact, I'll put up the prices of what I paid locally for all this stuff versus what I could see it just for buy it now prices online if you were just to get this stuff right now delivered to your door. And you can see here there's a huge price differential between the two. And of course, that's the power, as we said before, of risk versus reward when it comes to cleaning up PC parts and getting your hands dirty and taking a bit of a gamble on the used market. Though with that said, we are using budget 250 gigabyte SSDs here because these are really cheap where I am locally, and so we're actually be using 2 of these in separate drives, and we're just going to be installing the OS and a game on this one, and then we're going to be installing some games on this one too. And 500 gigabytes honestly isn't that much space. I do like having more space, but unfortunately with storage, it has suffered the same problem, or it's starting to suffer the same problem as DDR5 and even DDR4 memory right now, and that is the prices have soared through the roof. And this is a big reason why the Steam Machine is more pricier than people expected, I think. And trust me when I say I know it sucks. It's actually put locally where I am a huge dent, in fact, almost a killing blow on the whole PC market in general. It's been terrible, these price hikes. A lot of people have just been deterred from buying PC parts and building their own systems or buying new parts. In fact, there's just been, this year alone, been so many PC retailers that have gone bankrupt. Anyhow, what we're going to do right now, guys, is take you through a journey and install the SteamOS. For this, we've got a 16 gigabyte USB pen drive, and perhaps SteamOS might not even be for you. And if that's the case, then today's video sponsor, VIP STD Keys, has you covered with really inexpensive single-end user license keys for Windows 11, whether it's Pro, Home, or my personal favorite, IoT, which is pretty much just from the get-go a de-bloated version of Windows. They have these versions available for really cheap prices, especially if you use that coupon code BFTYC and get a huge discount. I'll put the links in the description below. But let's get on to installing SteamOS on this older system right here, then testing it out with some of the most popular games on Steam right now. So as we're trying to install SteamOS, we actually came into a bit of a hiccup, and that is SteamOS wants you to install on an NVMe only. And so what this means is with our 2.5-inch SATA SSDs, we actually can't get Steam to install. Well, we could if I had more experience and knowledge of Linux coding, and I tried these codes in the console command, and it was like, basically going in and editing the repair device function and trying to make it circumvent the checks. But in the end, it started installing, but it came into just brute forcing the checks again. And then after that, I tried to recode and take all these sanitize features out, and it ended up just then not doing anything at all. So I'm thinking to myself, well, there's got to be an easier way here, and there actually is an easier way, and that is to just download the SteamOS Bazite version that you can just download the ISO, and it doesn't have any drive checks or any of that tedious stuff. So we're going to try and install this version of SteamOS on our PC, and hopefully we have no problems now. Alright guys, so I'm just right next to this X99 PC at the moment, and it's trying to talk to me right now, telling me something. Okay. So it's basically saying it's really happy that it's got SteamOS working on it now. Wait, what? You want me to go outside with you, put you on a termite mound and take some shots? An active termite mound. Okay. So I've now just finished up testing 3 different titles on this system behind me here, and everything went really smoothly. In fact, you can use this Mango HUD heads-up display. It'll give you not just FPS figures, but also GPU and CPU utilization, which is very important because when it comes to gaming, especially with a Steam machine, if you get one of those, you'd want to probably utilize this tool, because it'll tell you if maybe you've got a CPU bottleneck, and you can tell if this is the case if your GPU isn't at 100%. Now, when I tested out 2 recently released titles, 007 First Light and also Pragmata, these 2 titles ran absolutely fine at 1080p. In fact, I pushed it up to high settings and I was getting a really decent experience. And for me personally on PC gaming, I do like to have the at least 60 average FPS. That's sort of like, especially at 1080p, that's sort of like my decent playable experience average FPS that I'm targeting. And the good news here is that 007 was getting around 70 average FPS, and then going over to Pragmata, that was getting around 80 to 90 average FPS. Now, when I did turn it up to 4K, it just would not play really well at all. We were getting around 30 average FPS in Pragmata, and even if we lowered the settings, it was just bound to around 30 to 40. We could get it up maybe to we could push to around 45, but it just wasn't really happening with the RX 7600. And even if we turned on FSR3 in these games, it just wasn't doing enough lifting to get it close to 60 average FPS. That being said though, when we went over to the next title, this was Counter-Strike 2, our magic little budget used Steam machine was actually doing really well. We managed to play at 4K high settings with a pretty smooth experience. And the good thing about the SteamOS is that it's based on Linux. And here's where the biggest benefit of using the Steam machine, or at least if you want to install a SteamOS on any PC, is that it's going to run a lot of these games, I feel, a lot better than Windows will, especially when it comes to older hardware and just hardware in general, to get the most out of it. Because what I'm seeing here is just no stuttering while I'm playing. It's actually a really smooth 60 average FPS. And then of course the next best thing about this is SteamOS is free. It doesn't cost you a cent. However, there is that drawback, of course. Some games like Fortnite won't play on the SteamOS Linux because it's got its own client, which is made for Windows. And the biggest thing to keep an eye out for is that I recently tested a different distribution of Linux, and I had problems with NVIDIA graphics cards. In particular, they just weren't performing that well. So this is the reason why, in particular, I think Steam went with an AMD graphics card, because they run really nicely on Linux, and there's no sort of, it's just pretty much all open source, sharing code, whatnot. So Linux is just able to give a really pure gaming experience on AMD graphics cards, as opposed to NVIDIA cards. They've got closed source, even though they say they got some open source going on with Linux. At least in my testing and sort of research, still a lot of it's still closed source there in terms of it running fluidly on Linux, and in particular something like SteamOS. The last thing to talk about is the CPU in general. Now, having a much newer Ryzen CPU in the Steam machine is going to do a better job than this i7-5820K, at least with this 5820K in its current configuration, where I just decided to test it at default. And the good news here is across the 3 games, it was basically running at 100%, the GPU, which means that the CPU wasn't causing any kinds of bottlenecks. So that was good to see that. Now, of course, I've always got the option of overclocking this older CPU here and actually getting a lot more FPS out of it, roughly to the tune of, say, 20, 30%, even more if I've got a really good cooler. But giving me a satisfactory experience here today, decided, nah, there's no real need for it, because it was just doing really well on its own. And of course, I'm going to be flipping this PC later. And in general, I just don't sell overclocked PCs, because if something goes wrong, say it's winter now, and then summer comes along and the PC becomes unstable, I just got to waste my time and start fixing that PC up, because I guarantee my PCs too. Anyhow, closing off here today, our Steam machine that we built from Tech Yes City, not Valve. The official Valve Steam machine is much smaller, but this one here is much better value, at least for me personally, and the prices I paid for a lot of this stuff, and I'm very happy with its performance. But keep in mind, it's not going to be groundbreaking 4K 240 FPS. In fact, it's very far from it, but it's going to be more just casual 1080p gaming, and I think that's what they're aiming for with the Steam machine, or at least in ways when they look at the price point that they released this machine at, they kind of have to. They got no sort of wiggle room there, because prices of DDR5 and things like that are just so expensive. So I'll probably make a separate video just talking about, in general, the Steam machine and whether it's a valid purchase. And I think that'd be a cool thing for people who are thinking about buying it. But in the time being, if you want to put together something like this for yourself, it's a very straightforward process. Honestly, after using this Bazzite distro here and just seeing the GPU pegged at 100%, I would recommend just using this one. It's really good. And also, I'd recommend using an AMD graphics card on SteamOS or Linux distributions. That's just my personal experience. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one and some of the shenanigans we had in between this whole thing. And I'll catch you in the next one. And also, if you have any questions or comments, be sure to drop them down below. And with that aside, I'll catch you in another tech video very soon. Peace out for now. Bye.